Welcome back. This is my 2000 Toyota Chaser JZX100 with the 1JZ. And today we got something special. We're going to be installing Kazama Auto front angle kit from Japan. This is a before comparison of the stock angle of the JZX100 chassis. Here it is from the front. I'll leave a link in the description for these parts, but here's the parts breakdown. For the Kazama Auto front angle kit, we have the SPL knuckle, the tie rod ends, extended reinforced tie rods, and 35mm lower control arms. These all fit JZX100 chassis and JZX110 chassis, but your reinforced tie rods are going to be too short on the 110 chassis. Select the car for the install. So we're underneath the car on the right side, and then the things we have to take off are all the stock suspension. So the tie rod ends, tie rods, lower control arm, and the stock knuckle. Alright, so we have to remove the sway bar linkage from the sway bar. And then we also are going to have to remove the tension rod. We don't have to remove it, but we just have to loosen it from the lower control arm. And then remove the lower control arm from the subframe. We also have to take off the boot for the tie rod. Super easy. It's 2 clips when they're brand new, but this car is over 25 years old. Now we're going to take the linkage off from the sway bar. And it's just a bolt or a nut there, and then a bolt here. So we had the linkage out. It was a 14mm bolt and a 17mm bolt to remove and detach from the sway bar. So the hardest part of this entire install is actually just removing all the stock parts, especially when a car is over 25 years old. It gets very old and rusty, and also not having the right tools. So I highly recommend getting a tie rod wrench to make life easier. But this is me struggling. I did not have a ball joint press to remove the tie rod end from the knuckle. So if you don't have the proper tools, I highly recommend removing everything from the rotor side, from the spindle. So once I had everything removed from the front spindle and had enough clearance to remove the tie rod, I just took 2 adjustable wrenches and took off the tie rod. It took a while, but we had the new tie rod and we got the old tie rod out. We have the new tie rod ends installed and a reinforced tie rod. Now we're going to build our lower control arm and the knuckle off the car just to make it easier. Really simple install. Kazama Auto has it labeled with R and L for left and rights. You torque down the castle nut and install the cotter pin. We have it all laid out on the right side, and now all we have to do is just attach everything back up. Attach it to the spindle and attach our tie rod into the knuckle, the tension rod onto the lower control arm, and everything back onto the coilover. Don't forget to jack up your rotors so you don't destroy your upper control arm. And all we have to do is put back the tie rod end and the sway bar linkage, and then install the lower control arm to the subframe, and then I guess this is me just pointing at the tie rod or tension arms, and then the tie rod end to the knuckle. This is me explaining that before you install your lower control arm, make sure your tension rod is back in place where it needs to be, or you're going to have some issues. Normally with these kind of builds, you want to change out the tension rod with a JZX110 tension rod, just so you have more clearance. So we have all our new Kazama Auto parts installed. The tie rod ends, reinforced tie rods, the knuckle, and the lower control arm all assembled. It doesn't come with new hardware for the tension rods or for your knuckle to go on the spindle. But basically all we have to do is put the spindle back on and torque it down to the knuckle, or the spindle to the knuckle. Don't mind my fat 50mm spacer in the fronts. But now, because of the 50mm spacer and with the offset I'm running on my front wheels, we're going to have to hammer out the firewall to get some more clearance. And then after that, we're going to hit it with some chassis black just to protect it from corrosion. Now cutting to the left side, everything is the exact same, just on the other side. Just ran a quick alignment, nothing crazy. Let's just see how it sits right now. This is the current angle after the install. How much camber you get out of it from the front. This is how the car currently sits after running some tests, fixing some fitment issues, and with my current wheel setup, made some adjustments and made some clearance for the front end. This is the car at full lock with Kazama Auto's full front angle kit. I hope this video helps for what kind of angle kit you guys want to run on your JZX100s. Feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, enjoy. Anyways, thanks for watching.